Welcome to Moments with Marianne. I'm so delighted we're spending this time here today. We have a very inspiring show coming right up with special guest Marie Unanue. And she's here to share with us her new book, The Adventures of Phatty and Payaso. Now, Marie has always been an avid reader and an activist for children who are bullied. The release of The Adventures of Phatty and Payaso has become the platform for her kindness advocacy. She hopes of inspiring children across the world to remember how to always treat each other with kindness and compassion. And couldn't we use a little bit more of that in the world? So let's welcome to the show, Marie Unanue.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, what a pleasure it is to have you here. And my goodness, what a fun book. I loved your book. Absolutely loved it. Once I picked it up, could not put it down. So I could see why so many people are raving about it.
Thank you. That means so much to me. It really, I wrote it from the heart, and I'm just over the moon to hear people that are enjoying it, especially children.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know it's a young adult book, children's book, but it's good for all ages, those who are young at heart as well. What inspired you to become a writer? How did you even get started on this path?
So for years, I was a wedding planner and event planner, and then I was asked by Bridal Guide and Honeymoons.com to share my writing experience. Share my wedding planning experience through writing about it. So I was very excited to have that great opportunity. And once I started writing, I realized, wow, I really have a passion for this. I've always loved writing, but writing about something that I felt passionate about, I just was off and running. And when my husband and I got married, I was looking for something to do to put my energy towards that I would be something to be proud of. And I really wanted to talk about this great relationship that my cats had with the neighbor cat. And that's really kind of what gave me the idea to take my passion for writing and start writing a story about animals.
Well, I mean, I've been to Central Park. I can only imagine if your cats are running around there playing. I'm sure they'd love to, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
They would be quite an adventure. Well, and so when you wrote this book, you deal with some topics that I think is really, in today's age, we need more books like yours. I mean, you talk about bullying. How did you become passionate about that?
When I was younger, I was bullied, and the more I watched TV and flipped through social media as an adult, I was just horrified that these children are not only being bullied at school, which I was, but then when I got home, I got a reprieve from it. I got the entire night off and then the weekend off, on Fridays. But these kids don't have that break. They get home and the bullying continues on social media. And it just felt so horrible to me that kids are going through this. And I thought, well, here I had a cat that was overweight and struggling with a weight problem. And I have his best friend is this exotic, rare breed cat. And despite their differences, they got along so great. Maybe I could write a story about being different and trying to fit in and that it's okay to be different. And maybe that'll help kids realize that the bullying might stop. If you're different, it doesn't mean you're any less important or great than the next person. And maybe the bullies will have to find something else to pick on.
Well, I think you're so right. When we have education in regards to being more inclusive about the differences and celebrating our differences, because that's what makes life so wonderful. If we were all the same, how boring would that be? But when we have people that are different, regardless of what it is, to be more inclusive and have that compassion for other people, just what a better place the world would be.
That's my hope. And I said to my husband, if one kid reads this book, and even one adult, and I'm so touched that you liked it as an adult, and that I think has been the most, the kids have really been so moving, seeing their reaction, but having my friends whose kids are grown reading it just because I wrote a book and they're being supportive, them calling me and saying, I couldn't put the book down, I laughed out loud, I identified with some of the characters, just means so much, because I think when parents are reading to their kids or watching their kids read a book, it's nice that they could enjoy it as well. It's kind of like when you go to a Disney movie and you find yourself laughing along with it because they do such an awesome job at connecting with the kids and the adults. So thank you for that. And, I said to Andy, if one kid treats another kid differently, and of course better, because they read this book, then I'll feel like it was a success.
Yeah, I mean, you make that one difference. Well, I know your book is making much more than an impact on one life, because it is addressing all these different issues. What are some of the other things that your book is addressing other than bullying?
So we're really lucky we had characterlab.org to get a lot of use for a lot of resources when writing it. And Character Lab talks about the 7 characteristics, character skills missing in children today. And I incorporated those character skills such as zest, gratitude, social intelligence, purpose, curiosity into my characters, so that way I could show the kids through action what great character skills can do for you. And character skills are not something that we're born with. We do learn these traits. And I wanted kids to see, okay, this character excels with zest and grit and curiosity, and yet this character may have a weakness in, understanding how to fit in society, which falls under social intelligence. And it was really great that I had that resource, because kids are able to learn different character skills. Of course, the kindness. Another really big thing that we talk about in the book through action is empathy. And I think if a child can understand what it's like to be in the shoes of another child, they would think twice about excluding them, bullying them, making them feel bad about themselves. Empathy is such a strong tool that if people could grasp that, that emotion, I think it could be life-changing for so many children out there. And last but not least, one of our main characters is Max, and he's on the autism spectrum. And I wanted that because I wanted kids to understand that just because somebody has a special need, and even if that means hearing impaired, vision impaired, if they have a physical disability, they are just as special as you. They want to be treated the exact same way. They want to be included. They want that same experience that you're getting out of your school experience. They don't want to be the different kid off in the corner who doesn't get included to parties or included to play on the playground. They want to be just as accepted as you do. And I'm hoping that kids read this and they think twice, especially as the school year starts, about how they treat that child in the back that has a hard time fitting in.
Yeah, whether they're on the autism spectrum or there's someone who's being bullied, or whatever the case may be, it compels people to look at things a little bit differently and say, what, maybe I should go be a friend to this person or offer compassion and kindness to this person.
Absolutely, absolutely, and just that little bit, acknowledging someone and asking how their day is, and a smile, a hello, can just be the difference in someone's day, especially someone struggling or having an off day. I mean, it's such an easy thing to do that I don't understand why kids aren't gravitating towards it and parents aren't pushing them towards it. And that's why I'm hoping that this book will get parents and kids talking about engaging other children and engaging someone having a bad day.
Yeah. Now, when you chose your special needs character, how did you decide on someone who has autism?
I chose autism because I feel like when I was growing up, I did not know a lot of autistic children or children on the spectrum. And now I find that so many of my dear friends have shared with me through this school experience how many more children are in the school system that are struggling and that are on the spectrum. And I have friends that have children with autism. And I thought, I don't think enough is being done to help kids understand autism, understand how to communicate with someone with autism. And I just thought it was important to give a lead character who actually ends up saving the day a special need such as autism, because it would be a great example to show other kids that even with special needs, you still have the same ability to save the day and be the hero.
Yeah. You still, it doesn't make you any different. It just, we're all very unique and special in our own ways.
Absolutely. And your strength might be someone else's weakness. So you never know. It's why teamwork is so important.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. Well, and why don't you share with us a little bit that whatever you like. We don't want to, we don't want to do any spoiler alerts or give anything away. But why don't you share with us a little bit about your story so that our listeners can have a little bit of a sense? Because we know there are these two fabulous cats and, of course, a bird that gets involved that's kind of one of the main characters as well. What else would you like to share?
Well, I'll tell you the funny thing that kids seem to be amazed with and love the most, that Phatty and Payaso and Clyde and Stanley really exist in real life. This book was inspired by our cat Phatty, who struggled with his weight, and Payaso, who was the cat that lived next door a few months of the year. And over the course of 13 plus years, they've been inseparable. And no matter how many months go in between them seeing each other, when Payaso gets back in town, he goes right out the side door and he sits at our door till we let him in, and they play all day. So the book, without any spoilers, is the story of this unique friendship. And Phatty, who is dealing with a big bully, he decides to overcome his fear, and he goes out into the park to try and stop the bully. And it's a story about a bunch of different animals and characters coming together to save the day.
Yeah, it is a very sweet story. I absolutely love it. And that's why I don't want to give too much away. I'm like, woo, because it's, we don't want to do any spoiler alerts here. It's just a beautiful, beautiful written book, and so when we talk about the key attributes, the key lessons, and we've gone over those that you want the listeners to take away from this book, it's interesting. Like when some of them, like grit, I was like, why would grit be something that would be important? And I'd love your feedback on that.
So the ability to have grit and to go after something and to just have this passion about something and to finish what you start is something that's really lacking today in children. They might start 5 or 6 projects and hobbies and only one sticks. So learning grit at a young age is so, so, so important. And they know that if kids learn these skills early, it'll change their whole course in life. For instance, gratitude. When is the last time that you got a thank you card from a child? So if adults can teach kids the skill of character skill of gratitude now, when they go for that college interview or their job interview, and they finish that interview and they write a thank you card to the interviewer, they're going to stand out. They're going to stand out to that boss that says, wow, when's the last time I got a handwritten thank you card? Because gratitude is just something, grit, zest, social intelligence, they're falling by the wayside. So it's very important for parents to work hard to enable these skills now in children. So when they go on their future in life with college and jobs, they're using these skills, and it makes the difference when you're in the office and you finish what you start, when you're in the office and you understand social intelligence, when you know that being on your phone during a meeting or a dinner is inappropriate social behavior, understanding to include the coworker that might be struggling, working as a team. These are all skills that will take kids so far in life if they learn them young enough.
Well, and Maria, and on that note, how about kindness? How important is that?
Well, I grew up with a mother that no matter how badly I got bullied, my mother would say, I don't care what the kids said or did, treat them the way you want to be treated. And I would say, Mom, but I don't care. Treat them the way you want to be treated. And I would go back to school and just consistently be kind. And you know what? That's who I was. And it was not always easy to be kind, but it says so much about who you are as a person, because kindness goes such a long way to another human being, even someone who's not treating you the way they should be treating you. It shows them. You teach that person, they learn from you, and then hopefully they'll teach another person better. So I believe if kids learn kindness and they always remain kind and they just think kind, it could change their whole life, because kindness in your marriage, kindness in your friendship, kindness at work, it is life-changing.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, and you have also the Kindness Challenge, and I would love for you to share about that. What's that all about?
So we're so excited about this. I would say that of all the things we've done so far with the book, this is my I'm most excited about this. So we are asking kids to go to letsallbekind.com, or if they're in one of the towns where we're doing book signings, I'm handing them out at the bookstores as well. We're asking them to download from the website a Let's All Be Kind sign, where it's whatever character you identify with, Phatty or Payaso, and you take the kindness challenge by being a kindness advocate. You go out into the community with hopefully your other friends or your family, and you do something kind, either volunteering, embracing a child that's having a bad day, be kind to the elderly, be kind to your teacher. On the website, it gives children a ton of ways they could go out and do something kind. Great examples. Yesterday at a bookstore, one of the kids told me they've been reading to children that have special needs and are vision impaired. And I was so proud of them. And they were so inspired because they saw the challenge. They went out, they did this act of kindness, and they took a picture of themselves with the sign. And then they shared on social media with the hashtag Let's All Be Kind what their kindness story was. So hopefully that'll inspire other children to go out, do something kind, and then share it online so other children will go out and do something similar.
Yeah, and be able to move that forward, because it's so important to just, treat others with kindness. I mean, we're not seeing a whole lot of that today, definitely in the world, in the politics, and just, it seems like adults need that reminder as well. It's like, hey, let's all be kind to one another.
Absolutely. We're on this planet together for whatever time we're given. Let's do our best to just make it as wonderful as possible and embrace each other with kindness. It just makes such a difference. Even just a smile or hello to somebody. It just a thank you. Ask the waitress her name who's waiting on you at your table. There's just so many ways to engage with people that I think people forget. People forget to say thank you. They forget to say please. We're all human, and it goes a long way when somebody shows us compassion and kindness. And I'm really hoping the Kindness Challenge will have kids thinking kind. Kindness Counts out of Canada did this wonderful experiment where they had kids do 3 acts of kindness for 30 days. At the end of 30 days, they did a report on it. And the kids came back saying, 1, they did more than 3 acts of kindness a day because they loved it so much. They continued doing the 3 acts of kindness a day after the challenge was over. But even better than that, they all reported that the feeling they got from being kind was better than the feeling they got when they received a present. So if kids could get into it and understand the feeling and the emotion of being kind and making a difference to someone, I think it could really start, hopefully some kind of movement across the country.
Well, I think we need more movements like this across the country. Your book is a great example of where people can start, and also your website, Let's All Be Kind. You've actually been doing visits to schools in New Jersey and different places to talk about this and talk about your book. Where else would people benefit from having you out? Like maybe like Boys and Girl Scout troops, or what other places?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for anyone at classrooms or any kind of, if not in addition to schools, after-school programs such as the Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, church groups, any kind of organization that is bringing kids together, any kind of programs. They're looking for someone to come and talk about grit, zest, social intelligence, how you can get involved, how you could take part of the Kindness Challenge, and how you could be part of the movement. And it's a really fun. The kids are so engaged, and we it's interactive. We have the kids sharing what their idea of character skills are. We have them sharing examples of kindness. We engage the kids. We talk about empathy. We talk about bullying, and the kids just love it. And at the end of these engagements, kids are outside telling you that what they're going to do. They're going to go home. They're going to start their own initiative. And I'm so moved by it. I can't even tell you, there's just no words to have a child come up to me and say, I'm going to start this tomorrow by going into my brownie troop, and I'm going to have all the girls do something kind, and we're going to go out this weekend and stand at the supermarket and just be kind to people going in, handing out be kind signs. I mean, it's just so sweet how kids everywhere are coming up with their own ideas of how to be a kindness advocate.
That must make you feel really good, especially from a position
great.
where you had been bullied yourself, going, gosh, now you have this whole movement taking over.
It's so great. And seeing children, and I tell them at these engagements that anyone can be a kindness advocate. There's no special training. It is just about going out into your community and doing your part and being kind, spreading kind, and getting people to understand the importance of kindness. And that's usually through action. So it's been really great. And the schools love it, especially the talks on character skills and the talk on bullying, because it's so needed right now.
Oh, my gosh. Well, Marie, where can people connect with you, learn more about the book itself, and also be part of your community and have you come out to speak to their organization?
So the best way to see my schedule is to look on letsallbekind.com. The calendar is being updated on a daily basis, and we are going to be putting in all the engagements we're doing across the country. In addition to that, schools, programs could go onto the website and read about the different engagements we do with the children, and they could just reach out via email and schedule me to come to the school. And I have no problem. I'll fly wherever. I bring a ton of fun swag for the kids. We bring moral compasses. We bring, you name it. We bring chargers and fun things to get the kids all amped up.
Yeah, and that way they can be really engaged and have such a great time learning about this and putting these new skill sets to work. Marie, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored that you included me, and I'm forever grateful.
Thank you, Marie. It has been such a pleasure to spend this time with you and, of course, to talk about your new book, The Adventures of Phatty and Payaso. You can reach Marie at her website at letsallbekind.com. Make sure to get in touch with her, learn more about her book, and join her community. Before we leave today, I would love for you to also take a moment and send a prayer to all those affected by the hurricane that hit the U.S. There are also other catastrophes around the world. Please pray for them. And I would encourage you to also just take a moment and donate $5 to redcross.org. They're helping so many people with this catastrophe. Or if you have an organization that you like to donate that helps for these kind of things, do so as well. I'd like to thank all of our first responders and everyone who's out in the field helping people getting everything back together. We're at the end of our time today. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne. And remember, make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Moments with Marianne airs every Thursday, Friday, and Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.